What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another MLW video. Now today we're going to be talking about intentional walks in MLW and how they've affected the Magic and specifically Grant Miller. I'm actually going to be having Grant Miller on for a special interview, so make sure you stick around for that, where I'm going to be asking him about what the MLW should do about the rule. But as always, before I start, make sure you guys subscribe and like the video, and let's get on with a dissection of what happens during the intentional walks. So now I want to dissect when this intentional walk thing is extremely valuable, and it happened in the 2024 ALDS when the Magic were playing the Cobras. Keep in mind that this is a win or go home game for the Metro Magic. The Cobras had won game one using a similar strategy, and now the Magic have the backs against the walls, and they really have to figure this out. So Grant Miller goes up to the plate, and of course he's going to get intentionally walked by the Cobras. I like to think this is a strategy done by Drew Davis, but who knows? Maybe Caden Irwin thought of it. Caden Irwin then walks Bonham, which puts the Magic in a good position because they have two guys on base with 0 outs, meaning that no matter what, Grant will get another opportunity to hit again. And keep in mind, in this series, there are huge playoff implications involved. Then up to bat is AJ Ackerman, who struggled all year, and he strikes out with his very long swing. Caden was throwing some pretty nasty pitches all game, but he really got Ackerman. Then Curdy steps up to bat, and this is a trend in the series, but Curdy gets out again. You're going to see here that Curdy is not a good hitter at all. I've been saying this. I like him as a guy, but really when it comes to the Metro Magic, he cannot hit a ball to save his life. Then Grant Miller comes up with 3 bats, still doesn't work out. They're going to walk him, and this shows how valuable the strategy is to the Cobras. They would rather put loaded bases than have to pitch to Grant Miller. Keep in mind the Magic have loaded bases, and they are completely okay with this. They could have gotten Grant Miller out. And of course, Trevor Bonham goes out looking. Next, in the second inning, AJ Ackerman is up to bat. He strikes out. Luckily for the Cobras, they didn't have to start with Grant Miller, but not starting with him means that the Magic are going to have a rough time getting on base because Curdy and Ackerman both get out here. At least Curdy makes contact with the ball, but it wasn't a great hit. And now Grant comes up to the plate, and this is an easy decision for the Cobras. They are going to walk him. This is a struggle that the Magic have had for a while, but the question is, what can the MLW do about this? Can't they just throw 4 balls anyways? Next, Bonham comes up to the plate, and it is an easy out for Caden Irwin, who was balling. Coming to the third inning, there is a swap. They brought in Egner for Ackerman, who actually gets on base here. I don't really know why he didn't put himself in earlier in the game, but that was his first hit of the year, so I guess that's why. But once again, what are you going to do? Because you can't really change this rule when the pitcher can just throw 4 balls in the dirt anyways, so it's really hard. Now Curdy comes up to bat, and this is going to continue the trend of him striking out as he tips the ball into the zone. He's clearly frustrated about it, but really there's nothing you can do. However, with Egner on base, it gives me some confidence that they might not. Nope, never mind, they're going to walk Grant Miller. Next is Trevor Bonham, who is ready to hit, but as you can see, Caden Irwin gets him out pretty easily, and he is just single-handedly dismantling this Magic team without Grant even swinging the bat in this game. He has literally done nothing this game. They have been walking him the entire time. However, here comes Egner, who had a hit on the last play, so hopefully he can get another hit on this play. And this is the play that defined the entire series, because you can see Egner gets a hit right up the middle, and Grant Miller goes third, but goes all the way home. And I can't help but wonder if in the back of my mind, Grant Miller knew that Curdy was batting behind him, and if he didn't go home, the series would be over. I saw a couple people in the comments that were blaming Grant Miller for this, saying that he should have just stayed at third, at least they would have had a chance. But how can you blame Grant Miller for this? Like, genuinely how, if you've watched them all season long? Grant Miller was the only guy hitting pitches for this team. A lot of times, the Magic team would have a really, really good defense behind Walgate or Bonham, but he wasn't getting much help at the plate. Grant Miller was just not getting the help he needed. So, to me, it made sense, right? Just try and get home, try and at least tie the game up. And also, Grant Miller hadn't really done anything all day. I know in the back of his mind, he's like, this is where I can make my mark. I honestly feel bad for the guy. And being a Magic fan myself, watching this team, the one thing I saw is just the lack of hitting, right? I mean, these guys are all talented players, even down to Curdy, and I know he doesn't pitch, but I've seen him do incredible things. And that's the frustrating part about this team is I feel like last year it really just came down to we weren't fulfilling our potential that we did the season prior. I mean, we had the same roster. So I think that's why Magic did so bad. Anyways, if you look at the rule, it's really hard to change. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to make, if you walk a guy twice, he goes to second base? Because you could just throw 4 balls in the dirt anyways. So that's something that I think fans need to realize, because there's been a lot of discussion over how they should change this rule and how this is so broken. Well, there's not really anything you can do. But now here is an exclusive interview with Grant Miller, and this is pretty much about what he thought about the situation and what he thinks about the intentional walk thing and if they should change that. All right, what is up, everybody? I'm here with Grant Miller. Obviously, great player from the Magic. He's here. We're going to be talking today about the intentional walks. So I'm just going to start off. What was your reaction when the Cobras walked you? Did you feel confident in the hitters? Like, what was your initial reaction to that?
I was a bit surprised when I think like the first walk, I was like, okay, I didn't expect it to go the whole series, right? And I liked our chances at first. One, because last year, when people did walk me, we took advantage of it. So I actually liked having the free base. I mean, all it takes is just one more. If I get on, it just takes one more person to get on for me to get back up, right? So I like the chances. And then also with Caden, he historically can be a little wild. So he goes into a lot of full counts. And he proved to be right there. I think the big difference in the series was his full counts didn't turn into walks. Yeah. They turned into strikeouts. And that really was the difference. I think if we got a couple more walks in there, we win at least one of game 1 or game 2, and then pushes to game 3, and I would have liked our chances a lot. So props to them. It was frustrating, obviously, for me because I want to help the team more than that, but it is what it is. I like their strategy. They played it well.
Well, obviously you're a competitor. I'm sure there's some people that probably wouldn't be too happy with that. Do you think the MLW should step in and do something about this? Some people think that, especially Magic fans, that this is something that needs to be averted in the future.
Yeah. See, I just don't know how you get around it because, like, let's say you remove an intentional walk, then people can just act like they're pitching to you and miss. I've seen different things like, well, if you walk someone on 4 straight or you do it to the same batter, you might be able to make a rule around it. But I think at the end of the day, we have a couple more big hits. Our lineup isn't as weak as it was last year. We had a lot of guys cold. You can't do that. I mean, we would have took advantage of it. I mean, so I'm for kind of keeping it as is. And, I think we've kind of made some improvements going into this year to kind of keep away from that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's extremely convoluted, some of the proposals that I've seen, at least online, to how to kind of get rid of that rule. It's almost getting cartoony to a point. It's just like, you got to get guys that can get it done.
Yep, exactly.
And lastly, what have you guys done this year? I know you touched on it a bit on the last question to kind of combat that. If a team throws that at you first series, what are you going to do about that?
Yeah, well, obviously you got the 2 draft picks, JPG and Pearson. I like both of those guys a lot. They're going to help out. JPG actually is one of my favorite players I've been watching, and I've seen him play, and he's really fun to watch. He can throw it. He can hit it. He brings a lot of juice. So he's exciting. Then Pearson, I actually haven't watched him play a whole lot. But I know he's really talented, and I've seen highlights of him, and I know I've talked to a lot of guys who played against him. And he's so young. I mean, he's 14, and he's already a really good hitter. So I can't imagine what he'll be 3 years down the road, 2 years down the road. So between those 2 guys, I think that's a big one. I think also the big thing, it's well overdue, is RJ's actually going to get some more reps this year hitting. Yeah. RJ's actually, he kind of has a funky stance because he is so lengthy and long, but he's actually, he's got it. He's got a good stick, and he's put a lot of work in swinging. I wish he would have got more opportunities last year, but this year he's definitely going to get his shot. So I think between all of that, it's going to bring some healthy competition, and the cream will rise to the top, and we'll see kind of who that top 4 will be. And personally for me, I will be stepping back a bit this year. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make all the games, so that's going to only open up more opportunities for the other guys.
It's definitely going to be an interesting season, seeing all that stuff go down. But obviously, as a Magic fan, I know people are appreciative that you were able to make at least some of the series this year. It's going to be a huge help. But Grant, thank you for coming out. I know you're a busy man, so take some time out of your schedule. Help me out here. I appreciate it a lot. And thank you, man. Appreciate you.
You got it, man. Wands up.
Wands up. Once again, guys, huge thanks to Grant for helping me out with the video. He was awesome to talk to. And if you guys like the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. Obviously, the MLW season starts the day I post this, so you're going to want to subscribe if you don't want to miss any more MLW content. And also, the content on my channel is going to be changing a little bit, so I wanted to update you guys on that. I will now be going from 1 upload every week to 2 uploads every week. And the second upload of the week is going to be a series about kind of game reactions. It's going to be shorter videos, maybe like 3, 4, 2 minutes long, something like that, where I'm just going to be doing my initial reaction and kind of a adjusted dissection, I guess, of the series itself. So if you guys are interested in that, subscribe, because those videos are going to be pretty fun as well. And once again, love y'all. Peace.